about getting geckos from space.
Yes.
Sex
Yeah,
geckos.
buddy.
Yeah. They're just out there. Okay, you're live. Sorry.
I'm alive! I don't need this mic. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Call of the Hunger, and thanks for answering. Happy holidays to my friends and to any viewers that we might have. As we journey from our Christmas bonanza into a much less inviting environment. Last time we left off, you guys finally made penetration into the city of Lemoore. I'm sure the chat would have asked me to if I had given them a poll. No pun intended there. Anyways,
Nice.
you guys successfully made it into Lemoore and dropped off the tears of the Weeping Willows for dearest Emery, and met up with the apparently a light djinn. Sorry about last time I called her a night djinn. She's technically a light djinn. She can't grant wishes after all. But we won't get into that too much. You met a strange creature, Diala, and decided you don't like that too much again. But you are able to part ways. And in the process, you caught a tail by the bronze and escaped into Natari territory, the local Tekeknu gang. And there you had a conversation with Vivigeni, which I think went pretty okay. You guys basically he explained to you guys that he was in a holding pattern. He was kind of hoping that if you guys talked to the mama territory of the queen over at Paratisium, she would be able to put political pressure on the folks that back the bronze, which would then allow them to ease up and not let this war get any further. Right now, he basically discussed that it was a eye for an eye situation. They had killed one of theirs, and now they'd swapped back, and so they'd killed one of the bronze, which they exclaimed was not an easy thing to do. The bronze are, the bronze are onyx, which are essentially rock people, right? Of varying qualities. They have more racial diversity, ironically, than most other races. Period. Because they're just a bandwagon name. Anyways, long story short,
There are lots of rocks in the world.
there's lots of different types of rocks. Yeah. Yep. Long story short, though, they told you guys that the bronze had deep roots in the founding of Lemoore, and in fact, they had a lot to do with the local Petrogovich Bank, which was responsible for the minting of the original currency of the old world back when it was in its height, known as Utica. But the Cavern Wars, which was basically a huge, age-long feud between the dwarves and the Onyx, really brought Lemoore to its heights, and the Bronze somehow managed to ride on the coattails of that, and now the Natari are contesting them as the new gang, but also very necessary at this time of age. They help clean up the streets. They're much more populous. There's way more Natari, but obviously they're not as strong and they're not as well funded. So there's this standstill, and the Bronze were like, "Hey, we killed one of yours. You killed one of ours. Cool. We'll let this all pass if you just give us these strange people who managed to get out of town. Okay? They're ours." And Vivigeni was like, "So, you see, you guys just they saw you walk in here, and either this war is going to blossom to full scale, this gang war, or I need to give you to them. Those are my options." And so you guys pleaded your case, saying, "Hey, we got you, brother. We'll be on your team. We're going to help out. We're going to pull our weight. We're going to try to help." And there's two things that he said that you guys could do to help right now. One was There's potentially a money trail that can be followed if you go to Petrogovich Bank and try to steal their documentation. The other thing that you could do is there is what's called a cognium rod that is at the Bronze's penthouse. They have a penthouse up in the nicer districts of up in the higher area of Lemoore. And if you guys raid that penthouse, you could potentially find this cognium rod and steal it, which brings, and like basically he says that it brings a surge of power to any onyx in the general vicinity of the rod. So if things are gonna come to blows, that's one item that would be nice to be out of their hands, and it might give them a pause to it might blunt their confidence before diving into starting this war. So that being said, there might be still some unsettled business with the harvesters, which are essentially like the local enforcers. I wouldn't necessarily call them police, but they do the bidding. They're basically the hands of the companies in here that are looking for subjects, right? So subjects going to get either mechanical or biological mutations or changes. The harvesters are the ones who generally control the flow of subjects, and so they've kind of taken on this role of keeping the peace, but it's really not. It's like keeping things good for the companies. So there might be some unsettled business with that. You guys did smuggle into town your good friend Wretch, so nothing's really come to a head with that, but that is kind of everything about how we left off. It is now, I would say that we spent probably a good solid day. It's probably getting into late evening on the day of the 23rd. Sorry, the day of the 13th here. And essentially, the only other thing that you guys did was you guys talked to Dante Ogilvy and were like, hey, we'll be back in about two twillets. Sorry, if you he said if you guys are coming back this way within the next 2 twillets, I'll make sure that I'm ready. If you guys want to take me in and work out a deal with the Woolund. So you guys got like a bunch of time for that. 25 days. If you're ever heading back that way within the next 25 days.
That's strangely all of a sudden ready to negotiate, man.
Oh, it's not that he was. You guys didn't know. All you guys heard before was the Buckham side of what he was talking about, and that he was interested in getting in there and doing farming.
As a side note, you have the best shirt for today.
Rat King?
Yep.
Yeah, it says Rat King. It's a cute little shirt that Grace got for me.
It's
cute.
Adorable.
Really into your role play today, you know.
I always am. I live my life role playing as a rat.
Also, if you guys hear a jet engine go off in the background, don't be alarmed. But just let us know, because that we got our new computer finally, and honestly, it sounds like it's about to take flight every now and then because of the fans and all of that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can adjust that.
I don't know if I hesitate to adjust its cooling mechanism.
Well, there's
Especially when it comes to lowering it, right?
Yeah.
well there is you can adjust it to adapt according to load. For example, I have a Gigabyte Aorus 570, and I also have a bunch of AMD crap in my computer. And they have a lot of software that will let you decide, oh, I want it to be a power saver because I'm just dicking around on Google Chrome. Or I want it to be high performance because I'm playing the Crisis Remaster at 8K or something.
Yeah. We'll have to look at
So you're
that.
not just saying stick to 1500 RPMs for all fans. You're saying respond according to what tasks I'm doing.
Gotcha.
You're streaming right now, so maybe you want to have the GPU to be running a little bit cooler, but not necessarily all the case fans.
Yeah, it's not like I'm on. Like all I've had experience right now is playing Total War 3, and that's like instant anger.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because I have default settings too, so I'm sure it's ultra and HD and all that other stuff for graphics, and
Yeah.
it's probably running all of the stuff. It almost freaking burnt me though earlier.
Goodness.
It's got fan vents on the sides, the top, and the bottom. I can pick it up and see through it. And I was like, holy crap, but I had my hands too close, and it was just like heating up.
It's a laptop.
Like, wow. Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, it's the evening of the. It's the evening, and if you guys want to find a place to crash, Vivigeni did say you guys could stay here, but he did warn you guys that this is a gang. He's got other gang leaders in his area, right? So he's the alpha, but he's got like lieutenants, in that he can't promise that they won't like shoulder check you, bro, sort of thing, right? And like contest you here and there. And the ways, you guys know the ways, like, right? That's anything goes down there. So there are also several different places you guys can stay, inns and whatnot. But I don't even know if you guys want to necessarily go to sleep yet. So we'll say it's like 6 in the evening or something like that.
Okay. At the end of last time, we had been discussing hitting up the bank route.
I think we were talking the other one.
You guys are talking about doing the penthouse because
The
you
penthouse.
weren't confident about hitting up a bank, and you were saying that hitting up a bank might piss off the companies,
Oh,
and
And that
you were
would-
more interested in. So, I do not have the bank prepared.
okay.
Putting that out there, that is not an option tonight. There
Sorry.
are so many other options.
I had
Bank is a vast, empty space.
I had
Yes.
thought we had settled on the bank. That's my bad.
No, we're good.
Yeah, man, lost again.
Yeah, I do suck.
That's right.
Um,
Do we want to scout out the penthouse a little bit before, calling it a night?
And
yeah, might as well.
I'll move you guys to the map. So number 10 is where you're at. That's technically like the headquarters is called the Scarab. For the
Because
Natal.
they're bug people.
Mm-hmm. The the penthouse is actually up by 8, the Petrogovich Bank. It's up in the same district. And then as you guys go towards the top of the map, you guys increasingly go higher and higher in elevation. So it's like built into the rocky mountainside.
Okay. And right now we're at 10 and it's
We're
at
at
10.
11.
So you have to go from 10 to 5 to 7, up towards 4. There's a bridge across there, and then that would take you up towards 8
Okay.
route.
Okay. I'm just looking at what those are.
Mhm.
Is there... I don't know the city very well yet, so I'm just trying to think where would be most of the places to stay for a night.
Give me a streetwise check.
Okay. I shouldn't have asked.
Yeah.
It's got some streetwise. Just got to restart my phone.
Well,
I don't think a lot of us have streetwise.
I've got an okay cunning. I'll go for it as you're pulling up your dice thing and. All right, I got 4 advantage. So what I say is I'm just gonna guess.
You did find Wretch at the In-N-Out,
Mm-hmm.
which was in the Central Stilts district, which is like number 6 in that general area.
Do you think it's best for us to go back to where I found you, Wretch, or would you prefer some new scenery?
So We were being chased by a rock man on our way in here, coming from that direction, if I'm not mistaken. Not strictly that area from.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what are the odds he's still there? I mean, like,
Probably
probably
pretty
wandered
good.
off. Oh,
I mean,
well.
he knows we're in here now, right?
I mean, it's like lots
Yeah.
of streets and stuff, right? Maybe like different paths and sneak on out.
Well, I suppose we could, but at the same time, we know we can stay here.
This place doesn't look super friendly.
No, but I am more comfortable dealing with the threats here when they know or should know that we have a common goal of eliminating the rock people, or at least eliminating the threat of the rock people.
Well, I suppose wherever we want to stay, we should maybe still check this place out first. Unless you think that's too. We're gonna have to leave here eventually, anyway.
Right. We have to leave here to make our way to that penthouse, and I also don't know when's the best time to try to get there.
You can. These are all things that you could ask. Like, hey, can I try to figure out or ascertain the best time? And then based off of what you tell me on how you would do that by asking people or remembering, I can give you a check. So
I'm gonna, because I've had some experience walking around the city, I'm gonna try to ascertain with my streetwise ability.
sure. And you say that you're looking for the best time to do what?
Well, to head to the penthouse, because if we have the harvesters after us, we have the rock people after us. So, have I noticed say that shady characters that don't want to kill us are more active during the night, less active?
Give me a streetwise check.
Okay.
When do the obsidian men roam?
Yes. Exactly.
Streetwise. I should know I have ranks in this. What the hell?
Streetwise,
Where?
it's under the bottom left, very far bottom left.
Oh, just had to scroll down there.
Yeah, it's far down there.
All the way.
Okay. That's not good. One success, two advantage.
Okay.
One
I love when a check
success,
starts with "that's not good."
2 advantage, right?
Yeah.
So here's something that you've picked up since coming here, and that is that the Onyx, despite being creatures that do not need to sleep, you have discovered that they actually do power down, so to speak. They go into a battery saver mode, and that has no bearing on time. Also, with the Onyx that have been moving around, you do know that one, they stand out, right? But there's not like there's certain areas that are more active at night, and there's certain areas that are more active during the day. Where you see where number 9 is, that's the Sovereign Die, and that is the headquarters of the gang of the Bronze, essentially. So
They're right there.
they're right there. Yep. And they've got a big market. They do black market dealing out of, essentially. So that being said, also number 7 is the Tabernacle, and the Tabernacle is HQ for essentially the harvesters. So when you talk about time of day and whatnot, time of day, I would probably say night is probably worse at 9, and day is probably worse at 7. But really, the best path getting through town would probably be 10, 5, 7, because then there's a bridge. Like, there's common streets that go up towards Petrogovich Bank. During the day, the areas of the nicer areas of town, so like 8 and kind of over in this district over here. This is kind of like the normie district. This is where they keep all of the tourists, so to speak, and this is where all the elitists flip. That's all stuff that would probably function during like the normal times of day, because you got a lot of humans and orcs, and you got things that don't function with like blind sight or dark vision or anything like that. So basically, I would say is if you're going during the day, you'll have more people to blend in with. But if you're going at night, there's gonna be like it's a toss up whether or not there's gonna be like Onyx around, and not necessarily all Onyx are gonna be like, I work for the Bronze Gang, right? Some of them are like, no man, I work at the Steel Mill. So
that was profiling then, because I thought that most of the rock people, the Onyx in the city, would be in the Bronze Gang.
a lot of them are. But you're gonna need to do more. You're gonna need to do better checks than that in order to be able to figure out more.
I'll have to find another way to tamper Ilya's racial prejudice. Well, it looks like our best path is north. Oh no, not north.
East. Map north.
East towards A&B Corp and the Tabernacle, but keep in mind that the Tabernacle is where we'll find the harvesters.
Well, I think Reggie,
That
you
will have
look
more activity
very
later.
different than last time you were here,
East?
right? Like, there's no way they'd recognize you.
Just stand on my shoulders and wear a big top. Yeah, he wasn't 7 feet tall before. I can't be him.
Can't be.
No way, guys.
That's awesome.
I mean, that is tricky. I think, like, Wretch would prefer to go at night, less chance of getting recognized, and he's apparently wanted by thugs around here just for speaking his mind.
That's right.
Delicate those thugs are.
That's what you get.
Yeah.
You have time to kill?
I mean, if you guys think it's best, we can go now or wait till it's darker.
If that makes you more comfortable.
What was that, sir?
If that makes you more comfortable, sure. Wait a
Maggie!
little bit.
How long till, like, darkness sets in?
It's late evening, isn't it?
Yeah, it's evening, so it'd be a couple of hours.
Alright.
Okay.
I
Is that
sing a
something?
merry song.
Maybe we could just, like, grab a bite. Like, what do you think the Cacnu eat? Do you think there's anything, like...
Well, Viviani was eating a lot of living, weird
Oh, yeah.
squigglies.
Well, that didn't look good. Mm-mm.
That did not. No.
Fine, we'll just sit here in silence then.
We could tell stories, and then I launch into a nonsensical story about bullshit from far away.
Perfect.
I'm helping.
Big help. Yes, sir.
Oh no! Something didn't. Okay, sorry. I had to pull some. I have to pull something up. I had notes that never made it to.
Your note thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Pardon me. Pardon me. Pardon me. Let me just find it in my texts because I text myself notes.
You text
Like a
yourself, huh?
silly boy. I do, because then it's right there. It's searchable.
All right.
I was just looking for. Okay, sorry. So you guys wait until the evening,
Yep.
and then what do you guys do? What's your plan of attack? Is it like link arms and waltz, or
Well, I was thinking we could have. I would stand at the center and I would link arms with Emery, who would link arms with Wretch, and then I would swing them both around, and Wretch would hold on for dear life onto his hammer, and would be basically invincible.
All right. That makes sense.
It also feels very subtle, which is exactly what we need right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm on
Right.
board.
Nice, actually.
Yep.
I mean, I would stick together, but like pull hoods up and try and be at least a little subtle.
Try to look casual, but also cloak up.
Right.
Okay.
Super.
So I'm gonna need cool checks from everybody
Super
as you
cool.
guys make your way through from the slums and up past A and B core.
Ooh. 3 and 0.
For the second time tonight, 4 advantage. No success.
1 and 0.
Okay, so
How am I the coolest one here?
Big
Yeah, right.
hammer.
so you
Anyways,
can
no.
because you guys are working together, you can dispense your success. However, like you can like spend a success to give someone else a success, so to speak, if you would like to balance anything out. Otherwise, I'll continue in as such.
I'll spend it a success to give it to Emery, who had literally 0.
Okay, so then it's 2, 1, and 1.
Dipper
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are walking around like hoodie style, like trying to see, like trying to check around, and as you guys are doing that, you manage to make it out of the swampy bottoms of the slurry, and make your way up onto the stilts, heading up toward A and B Corp. And as you guys start to pass some of the railways and start making it into like a little bit more stable ground, so to speak, there's more populace up here, and there's a couple of people. You see a lot of people are heading home for the day, so to speak, back towards the. And in this area, there's a lot of folks who would be heading towards 6, which would be kind of like the residential districts. Not very nice. But, you know, for most people who are working and trying to make an honest living, that's probably where they live. But you've noticed a couple of folks who are just as sketchy looking as you, like trying to do the hoodie thing. And finally, as you guys are moving along, you see a large bipedal elephant looking person with 2 they're very bondage looking, like a lot of like black leather, and their ears are pulled back and folded together, forming a weird cup. And in that cup is it's almost like it's forming a basket. Inside that basket is a ratten sitting there with like weird dragonfly-esque wings coming up off of his back. And on the front of this elephantine bipedal creature that's lumbering forward, he's got um, large tusks that are they look like they've been augmented in some way, shape, or form. And then as he's moving, you see him almost clack them together, like he's like gesticulating with them. And he's walking with a big cane, sort of not cane, a big staff. And from the staff is a small, I believe it's a small chain. But anyways, he's walking with this hooked staff weapon in one of his hands. And as they're walking along, you see the large creature like stop and shift to, like its head in your general direction. And the guy up top kind of looks over and he goes, "Hey, you!"
That's not my name. Keep walking.
Is that your friend? Sorry, just role playing. My terrible.
I don't know anybody here. Keep walking.
Friend, like, you know?
You hear him look down and goes, "Soup! Here, Soup, pull me up closer. Norn, you know that's not the way, right?"
Yeah, Norn.
I don't. Who are you? What would you know of my way?
Judging by the way you're slinking, kind of looks at me, trying to lead your guests here to the slag grinder, am I right? Slag grinder's this way.
No, just on my merry way. Not familiar with the slag grinder, but I'm sure you'll enjoy your time there.
Well, you aren't looking to place bets, and you're not looking to compete. Why don't you dust on over and get these folks back where it's safe? It's not a good part of town.
Sir. We have a common goal. I am no tour guide. I assure you, we have all accepted a certain level of risk being in Lemoore.
Kind of looks you guys up and down. Hey, listen, Bob. My responsibility to make sure customers get where they need to go in one piece. I'm telling you, it's not a good time to be out. The Natari are just west of here. The Onyx just south across the way. You guys aren't looking. You guys aren't out in this area trying to have a little fun at the ore grinder. You might as well be heading back. And that's not a suggestion. Move off.
Oh, thank you very much.
Aggie.
Okay.
He kind of stops for one, like as he's about to turn around and start to head. He kind of goes, and then I'm going to need Wretch. Can you give me either a cool or a deception check?
Oh, cunning or presence, but it's the same stat. I'll go with cool.
Listen to
Doing
this
one.
BDSM weirdo telling us weirdos where to go and why. Oh,
It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Wait, that's
Yeah.
stupid stat, not slick stat. What'd you get, sir?
Doing one.
Yes. Uh, the that's weird. Why says that? The Ratton kind of stops for a moment. Hey, just wait a moment. I think I recognize you. Yeah. Big hammer, plate armor. Why do I recognize you? What are you in town for?
I'm gonna look up, kind of, and just say to return tears of trees to people I don't really enjoy, and now trying to find a place to sleep. I guess.
Well, I don't come to Lemoore to sleep.
Like we said, we were, had a little errand to drop off. You know how it is? We're just on our way back to some inns now.
Working for Chettle Corp, is that it?
Don't really know why you're quite so, nosy.
Not working for any
We're on our
corporation
way.
in particular. We have a way of happening upon eager customers and
And we really should be going.
on our way.
But, you have a lovely night. And I'm gonna try to, start moving away.
I'll also start just.
And I'm just
moving
gonna
on.
keep walking like I didn't hear him.
Like you said, not a safe neighborhood.
Alright. I'll keep on past Chettle Corp. First bridge should lead you back towards more pleasant company.
Thank you.
And kind of slowly turns around.
Part of the ship, part of the crew.
Just walking along until we can't see him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, is he? Yeah. There we
Yeah,
go.
he seems to turn around and he's heading back towards the tabernacle. As he kind of watches as you guys head off towards the main bridge that shoots across towards Shuttlecorp there at 3.
Okay. Once he's not watching us anymore, we'll maybe dip back through a different street or something to get back on track.
Okay. I'm gonna need a streetwise check.
Justin, did you already do a streetwise check this session?
I did, and it turns out that I don't have ranks in it because I thought we'd be spending even more time in the forest.
All right, then I'm going for it because you two already got your chances being street and wise.
Yeah.
Wow.
Two and 1.
You can use this.
Yeah, thank you. You're able to make your way around and navigate past Chetlecorp. Past the tabernacle, unmolested. And as you guys get further up, you come across a bunch of several switchbacks that take you further and further up the hills and past some more working folk, so to speak. But you see that here there's actually some more paths that lead towards more savory parts of town. And it looks like some folks are finishing up work at Mastercraft Tectonics at number 4 and heading up in the general direction that you guys are towards the district where Petrovich Bank is. That being said, not many at this point. It must be like some folks who are working a later shift or something along those lines. And the crowd thins out as you get a little bit further up. You can see now down below, through the smoke, multiple different fiery pits of whether or not it's kilns that don't go to sleep at night, or if they're small lanterns that light the way. the city basically turns into this dull, humming, amber hue for night that is still littered in smoke, and it's much more apparent now with the dim lighting that you can see the smoke kind of wisp through it, so to speak. But you kind of starts to get to the point where you have crisp air once more. And it's not as sweltering and gross as the rest of town now that you've gotten this high up. As you head towards Petrogovich Bank, however, you find that this area of town is closer to being like a gated community. And you see that there are guards, so to speak, posted up in this area of town, keeping an eye on passers-by, making sure that no riffraff get into this area of town.
Use me.
Yeah.
Rude.
We may be violent and psychotic, but we are not riffraff.
We might actually, in fact, be riffraff.
Did any of you specify taking a shower since spending a month in the forest?
No.
Hour.
Climbing out of the sewers, or rubbing elbows with bug people?
No, we might definitely be riffraff.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
That's a apt description. So is this place, trying to like envision it, is there just one like entry point, or is there
Up here, it's carven stone paths. So yeah, there's not like, I'm gonna wrap around this building and go, that sort of thing. It's very main corridor-y.
and they're kind of guarding that entrance point to it?
Yeah, especially at this time of night, there's posted guards.
How does it look up? You know what I mean? Like, is there a way where you could like climb around or things like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could definitely circumnavigate guards by climbing up, like scaling because the buildings are built in to the walls and stuff like that. Several of them. So like you could climb parts of buildings and parts of, like, think of like Minas Tirith in Lord of the Rings. You know how it's like built into the mountainside there? I mean, that's from the third movie with the big old peak or whatever. Multi-tiered.
7 walls.
Yeah.
The White City of Gondor.
Yeah, so it's a lot like
Last
that.
Fortress of
like
Man.
buildings built into the wall, and some of them are freestanding, right?
Sauron's latrine.
Mm-hmm.
Great White Tree.
So
And
to
that
answer
would
your
be-
question, yes, there are areas where you could potentially climb and try to like find a way to get around guards, so to speak. If that's what you
And this being the bank. As we passed the industrial area.
Yeah, this area holds the headquarters of Petrogovich Bank, but also the penthouse, and some people live. This is very much a residential district.
Oh,
We're scoping
one?
out that penthouse. Is what we're trying to do here.
For the love
Right,
of
yeah,
God,
it's
we're
just
not
when
doing
you-
the bank. No.
Right?
Yeah.
when you described the walls, I had in my mind a massive industrial complex, which would be interesting, but pretty large hurdle. Okay. So I understand correctly.
Yeah, there's no gate here. I meant gated communities, and like you enter a nicer area of town, and there's like posted guards, and like you can tell that there's like a HOA, right?
Gross.
Ugh, they tell you how to carve your stone and all that.
Won't let you put a manticore on your lawn.
Yeah.
It's potty trained.
Yeah, the streets
Okay.
are actually clean up here. Someone cleans
Ew.
them.
What?
Strange alien place is this? Okay.
Do you think they're like
Well,
always
we gotta get
standing
towards
there
that
at
penthouse.
the doorway in like Don't think they're gonna let us in.
No, that's usually not their thing when they build really tall walls. They normally don't want you going in.
But like, if we wanted to like climb around them, maybe at night is better.
It'd be hard to be inconspicuous. It's not impossible.
You say at night is better?
To climb, yeah.
Isn't it night?
It is night.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't know, do we walk up and just be like, hey, can we get through?
No, that was not gonna work. Probably want, I guess you would want to climb tonight. It's just, I don't know how good we're gonna be at that, especially quietly. We are not subtle beings.
Yeah, also, well, we're going to have to climb to get in there. And, well, it's true that, we're very subtle. My follow-up question is, do we want to be stuck on the other side of that wall
So
when we don't really know what we're doing, getting on in there?
there is no
Believe this.
like just for walls' sakes here. Like you guys are like going up a mountainside, right? So like it's switchbacky and whatnot, but there's not like a wall like between you guys. Like if you were to climb up you'd climb up a wall and there would be another street there, so to speak.
Right,
you
which
wouldn't
is
drop down like and be behind a what you would think of like a fence sort of wall. Just so you guys are aware.
well, sure, but I think our idea is try to get on the same street as that penthouse, and if there are guards blocking entrance into certain neighborhoods, then I would assume that they're not just going to let us stroll on through.
Right. Yep.
Okay. For some reason, I just imagined that it wasn't like an actual walled-in neighborhood or something.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
No, it's more of isolated by distance and by like very specific routes carved through the stone to get there. But it's not walled in, so to speak. You're just above the riffraff.
Okay. So let's get down to business, huh?
Okay.
Are we just on the edge of that area?
Yeah, you guys. If you see the bridge above 7 that heads to the right hand side, you guys are kind of like at the end of that bridge, up, way up. So like you're looking over and you see guards up ahead, kind of patrolling the streets and checking things out, and the streets, the bridge up, the stone walkways up here before the residential district have thinned out. So you can kind of see that there's people like checking in and making sure that the lamps are all working correctly. Some of them are look like they're lit in some way, shape, or form with a reservoir of oil. Other ones appear to have a weird hue to them, as if they are lit by some sort of enchanted gemstone.
Okay. And how are these guards posted? Is it like every street sign at the corners before it winds back up there are guards, or is it just certain areas or properties that they're guarding?
You can see that there are some properties that have a guard that is like walking the block, and then you can see that there are a couple others that appear to be it's stationed at a particular house or something like that. But you do notice before you guys enter, there's 3 guards in total walking this general area who appear to be greater dragon. So large, powerful builds, wings, and scaled individuals. Look like they're very, very proficient in this climate.
Okay. Well, that eases my concerns very slightly.
Very slightly.
Yeah, there's probably like 15 guards in this entire area of town. Total.
Can you guys kill 5 dragons apiece?
They're like
Easy.
easy.
Yeah.
Those aren't
Easy.
like real dragons. They're,
Bracket. It's like store brand dragon men.
like.
Okay, I think we should just try to. We're gonna get noticed, and if we try climbing those walls prematurely, then that's just going to draw attention to us. We don't really know how far away we are from our goal, so I say for now, play it safe.
Oh, what if we're like, hey, we've got a meeting with somebody, and then where's their place, and they like give us directions?
What happened the last time we name dropped in front of strangers?
Yeah, it's a good point.
I don't want the Onyx to know.
I'm
That
gonna
we're
just
coming?
follow your guys' lead. I'm not very good at this. Quiet.
Neither am I. Usually it's very open and clear combat. You eviscerate the other guy and you're on your merry way, and not a whole lot of that going on right now.
No.
Yeah, let's just start walking kind of casual like.
Okay.
Maybe try to time it so, like, there's not guards right there,
Yeah, duck behind a bush when they pass the area, that sort of thing.
Boulder, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know what they got.
Okay, so you're gonna try to zig as they zag, so to speak.
Yes.
So I'm gonna need a streetwise check.
All right, my turn again.
Okay. And you can add a boost die due to the night.
Yeah. Ooh, I got successes for the first time tonight.
That's new.
It's new. 2 success, 3 advantage.
Okay.
That sounded like I still didn't win.
You find the cadence of one of the guards, and you're like, okay, well, this one, I recognize him based off of the scales. The color of his scales. And as he rounds back, you kind of wait, and you figure out that it takes him about 20 minutes to walk his route. And so you wait for him to duck out again before you pass into the area that he was working, and you saw that there was a stationary guard up ahead on the right-hand side who hasn't been moving at all. So you figure that if you follow this guard up far enough and then follow him to the left where he cuts in, you can actually duck past the stationary guard by following the other guard, just kind of like out of like sight range, so to speak. And so as you do, you see that he starts trailing back because you figure that he was walking a clockwise route because he always comes in a different area than he comes out. And you find another area that you can tuck off to the right, and you continue further in. Now you're kind of in town now. Sorry, you're in the neighborhood now, and you're not in an area that you could visibly see earlier, as you have increased in elevation. Now you need to find the place that you're looking for without any guards finding you. So I'm going to need a streetwise check again. Who's going to be doing this one?
Might as well keep going in order. That'd be you, Destin.
Oh, I have not been rolling correctly.
Well,
Just realized. So I increased my cunning. Oh.
You increased your cunning?
Yeah, it says 3 instead of 2 on my cunning.
Did you have a critical injury that dropped it down or something?
Wait, hold on. Wait. Oh, goodness. Sorry.
Oh, you were looking at my
I
sheet.
made multiple errors.
All right.
Boy.
Okay. So I did indeed have ranks in cunning, but I was reading Emery's character sheet and was very confused. Why is my brawn and agility so low?
This makes no sense.
Suddenly I don't feel like bonking at all.
Oh, well, I corrected my error. 1 triumph and 2 success.
Wow. Okay.
A little bit better.
Okay.
Should read the right character sheet more often.
You recognize that stalling is not your friend right now. And based off of the description, like you're like, we gotta keep walking, right? And as you're moving, you keep an eye out for the description that you're given by Vivageni, and you see a building on, like, basically, like, you're able to see across the gap, so to speak, over to where this penthouse is. It's cut into the rock, and you can see it illuminated from here. There's a massive window on the first floor, a big glass window. And you can see from here that there's a walkway that rounds out from where you are to kind of to your left, so to speak. You just got to get past a couple buildings. But the building it's got two main floors, and you see that there's a single tower jutting up to make a third floor from here. And you can see that there's a kind of like the mountain kind of juts backwards. There's a little bit of space behind the building. In fact, you can see a waterfall falling behind the building that this penthouse is, but you're still a little bit of ways away. So from now, for here, you can also see that there's a road leading away from the building on the opposite side that kind of circles back into more of this district. So you basically were able to ascertain there's two routes toward the building, and there's a waterfall that dips behind the building, but you can't see it where it comes out. So your immediate, like, you're able to like look over it, and you're able to see that it leads into. You're able to assume that it leads into one of these fonts of Ranval, or these rivers that scour into the city itself. But based off of the heavy amount of water, it's really hard to tell what would like where that goes specifically from here. Anyways, that's what you're able to gather from this spot, and you found roughly a route that would get you to there. Do you want to approach it from the tower side, from the non-tower side, or do you guys want to do something wacky, like try to get up and above and drop down behind it into its backyard, so to speak, or go down below and scale up towards the front? But there's some real estate and some options from your vantage point.
I definitely don't want us getting. I don't want to have to scramble down, because then that means in the heat of the moment we're going to have a lot of difficulty getting out of there, and I don't want to deal with that.
You can
fair.
also, judging by the time and you guys' original purpose, you guys can stay here and scope it out from here for longer too. You're gonna need to find a spot that it's like nestled into a corner where you can safely wait hours without being like someone being like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" Right?
Do we have an okay vantage point to like see in windows and stuff?
You can see
Are there
there's
windows?
a gigantic bay window.
Okay.
And you can make that out from here because of how big it is, and because the interior would be lit right now. But you cannot see enough to be able to see like what are people doing, right?
Yeah.
From here.
Because I would want to be able to see some of that.
Above the bay window, you do see that there is a balcony, a big balcony, like covering. It's probably like 80 feet across, something like that. It's a rather large balcony, but it sits above the big bay window.
Probably got an open floor plan. From the sounds of it, and this is supposed to be a penthouse, and this. I feel like they're very confident where they are, because they're in a ritzy, upper-class neighborhood where they probably can't get away with as much. But at the same time, it's got a lot of geographical seclusion.
Mm-hmm.
So
I want to be able to like watch them for a bit, and I'm worried about finding a place that's secluded enough to kind of not be spotted.
yeah, that is very fair.
So our options are to approach from the tower side, not the opposite side, or go up the wall toward it, right?
I'm pretty great at climbing, I'm sure.
So your options are limitless, but
Yeah. No.
what I've basically stated is there's two roads leading towards this. One from the tower side, one from the non-tower side, which is further away from you. You'd have to go a roundabout way to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's also what appears to be a way to access this place from behind, although that would require a lot of like mountaineering and then like descent down the hill, down the mountainside, or you can go up. There's also there's a lot of caverns, so if you guys were trying to do something like try to figure out how it hooks up to the ways or something like that, I mean, that would be a really kind of an effort. But
Right.
as far as like who's there, what they're doing, you guys have not spent enough time sitting here right now to be able to ascertain the nature of who's going in and who's coming out. Are there guards? That sort of thing. You need to be sitting here for a couple hours.
We need to find a better spot to kind of sit and watch them.
I trust in my ability to get climbing, personally.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm also pretty good at climbing compared to a lot of this other stuff we've had to do in the city so far. At least that's a straightforward physical task.
All right, well,
Yeah, and we've had some climbing experience in the forest. So
I'll just get
not great, but
get my rope ready. That helps. All right.
Okay.
yeah, because I want to get at least an idea of the floor plan, get some kind of handle on movement into and out of. I don't imagine the Onyx who has that rod is going to be moving in and out a lot. He's the head honcho or of significant importance.
Sorry.
I have to use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
So,
Okay.
what are you guys hoping to do?
We were hoping to scale the wall up towards the place to try to get a better view.
Okay. So you're kind of parallel with it right now, right? The building. To climb down. So to go around. So first of all, if you look down, the area below this structure, that where you can most easily access to climb, looks like a dimly lit area of some structures. It looks like there may be some sort of like work yard or something along those lines. It's hard to make out any details. You know it's dark, which means also that it's probably not like heavily populated at this time of night, wherever that is. It'll take you guys a better part of like 4 hours to make your way through town to directly below this place, and then the climb alone would take a good chunk of time too. So, are you guys hoping to like start this right now, or was there anything else that you wanted to do before now, or wait? What's your guys' kind of thought?
Well, I mean, we're here. We might as well just get it done and
I think
keep
that's
moving.
that's best. I don't have a ton of. I have a little bit of strain on me. I have 4 of 16. But other than that, I'm fresh, and this seems like it's best to do at night. I don't have that much worthwhile of waiting another day of recoup,
Yeah.
So I'd be down for that.
Okay, so you guys, you're done with recon. You'd like to start getting in there, so to speak.
Well, I wouldn't mind doing some recon up there.
Yeah, but pretty much adjacent to the building.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't skip any opportunities for you guys, and I wanted to read the route correctly. So, okay. So from here, you guys need to head to the closest area below this building, and I need someone to give me another streetwise check.
My turn. Uh, 3-0.
Wow.
All right, just enough. You managed to duck back out of the city, so this area town, and like at one point, one of the guards is like, "Oh, like, hey, what are you?" And then you guys are like, "Ah, we're going," and you just keep going. They're like, "Yeah, okay." And you like keep an eye on you guys, making sure that you're heading out of town, right? In fact, one of them's like looks at you guys like street crew, and then you like just like whatever. They're not my problem anymore. As you guys head out, and then you make your way down to what must be some sort of mining yard for Mastercraft Tectonics. There's a lot of ore deposits that have been carefully created and set aside, and you guys will pass that towards some lesser rare materials where there's not guards and fences and stuff like that. And you see that this place is not very quickly like guarded or anything like that. It's usually where like they keep their heavy steels and stuff like that. So nothing really valuable to take. But it's dark enough for nefarious endeavors like skullduggery. So now that you guys are starting to head towards, like, you guys are going to need to like start scaling this area. It's probably 100 yards up, so 300 feet. Does anyone have any climbing gear or anything like that?
I have rope. And my ability to, make my rope come alive.
Okay, but we don't have any like picks or hammers and what are the little spikes? That's what they're called. I don't have any climbing gear. Sorry.
I do not. No.
Okay. And Dusty's... I'm going to go grab a drink real quick while we wait.
I am back.
Oh.
I just did not turn my microphone on.
Little Rat Man has led you guys to a dark warehouse yard behind Mastercraft Tectonics property. And you guys you're looking up at about 100 yards of climbing to get into this facility. If you guys have skullduggery equipment or climbing equipment, now would be the time to speak up and tell me how you're going to utilize it, as you're going to climb in the dark up a sheer cliffside.
Are there
something.
handholds and footholds?
Yeah, this is cleaned rock in the sense that, like, everything that would just like break off and fall on someone has been cleared long ago. But it's unworked stone in the sense that it's not like straight up and down masonry or anything like that. Here, there's a couple of parts where it looks like it needed to be reinforced. But from here in the dark, give me a perception check.
You were talking to Sharon specifically, right?
Ilya.
God damn it.
Yeah, Charon is currently wandering the Arctic wastes full of the goof.
Yep.
I like to think of it as like, if you're looking at parallel universes, like somehow Ilya and Charon's mom was the same person who just took a different path in life, right?
Yeah, that's fair. 5 success.
Easy Pete. Yeah, so your eyes adjust, and with the light of the stellarium celestial bodies giving you just enough, you're able to find darker recesses of shadow along parts of this, and follow seams and veins of the rock, and are able to pick out certain areas are going to be a no-go. Certain areas are much more readily accessible, and you're able to find what you would think to be like, this looks doable, so to speak. There are handholds, but if you don't have backup equipment all set up and ready to go, there's a chance that if a handhold fails, and you fail to catch yourself, like recover, that you could plummet. And there's not really anything to catch you, right? So what that mechanically means is that like you have probably like one check after a failed check to keep yourself from falling, but it's not like how we had it before, where you hit all those branches to break your fall. It's gonna be like
Rock.
like bat. You slip, you fail to recover yourself, you fall.
That is quite unpleasant.
Yeah, making a new character is fun anyway.
300 feet is 30d4 with one athletics or coordination check to catch you fall.
And there's no in-betweens of this 300-foot climb of ledges between...
The 300 feet from here to there?
Yeah. Like, because I thought there were, like, streets and corridors in this one.
You're on the closest street right now. This is a penthouse overlook. However, if you wanted to spend a story point for something that you could like a small shelf, not a big enough shelf for someone to have any sort of structure associated with it, right? But like a spot to catch your breath, you can spend a story point.
1d4 per 10 feet. So it's 3.
Wait, could Emery fashion some climbing tools?
Yeah, you can also rope yourselves together too, right? So if one falls, you guys could attempt to catch them, but it could potentially cause a daisy chain.
I do have, so what I have on me, and I start kind of, pulling it off of various parts in little satchels. I have some rope. I have a few of these, and I go, shitting body parts, like it's like, but that's maybe a little sturdier. I don't know if I could, jam that in a... I have some stingers and a tusk. I don't really have anything like metal to stick in the rock, though.
Do you have the ability to warg into... No, you don't have the ability to warg into your Rolodex, right?
I don't think so. I do not. I can communicate with animals.
So, give me a skullduggery check. Or a skullduggery or a... what intelligence would this be? Give me a mechanics check, quick.
Mechanics? That I can do.
I'm gonna do a heart check.
Yep. I have 2 success and 3 advantage.
Okay. Then I'm not gonna give any suggestions.
Well, what you need is something hard and jagged that's going to stick into the rock.
I don't have anything I can hammer into the wood or into the rock. The best I could do is try to hook things on, jagged pieces of rock or things like that.
Well, we could use some of the length of rope to do kind of a harness tie-off. So once we get past a certain foothold and we've got a handhold that was at waist length, we could try to tie off to that so that we have something to grab onto.
Otherwise, if we want to go try to buy climbing equipment tomorrow, we could, but...
That's true. We don't have to do this right now tonight. And that's
we did venture out here just to get an idea of what was ahead of us.
Yeah, I don't know. I just really want to kill some rock people, I guess.
Just tonight? Just saying. Let's see. We could continue down the street and try to walk past the place.
Yeah.
I just really don't want to die from this fall when we could have just taken the street and ran if we ran into a guard or something,
Yeah.
Fear is unbecoming!
I'm not afraid. I just I'm aware of the reality. And we have no climbing gear. We want to climb 300 feet straight up, and we don't have anything to break our fall.
And if maybe we just try to do like a go up the street. If it gets too like tough, it gets too tough. Or if the guards are there, that's fine. But we can come back tomorrow with some climbing gear.
That works for me. Now we have an idea of how things are laid out, what some good entry points might be, and come back here with climbing gear and do more recon.
Hey,
All right.
now how to get out of here without causing an issue?
So you guys you're already out of the fancy area of town. You've made it down into like more of a work area, so to speak. It won't, and now it's much later too. So moving around this area of town isn't going to be an issue. But I need to know where you're going to go. So right now you're like here.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys going back to the Scarab, or are you guys going to try to find some place to stay tonight? That isn't with the gang.
I'd say find somewhere like for normal people to stay.
Sure. Yeah. I need another streetwise check for you guys to find some place to stay for the night.
Because you were
I
saying
took my
it
turn
was-
while Dustin was gone, so it's Emery's turn.
What?
It's your turn for the streetwise check.
Alternatively, you could do knowledge people to find out what is readily available for tourists, like people coming into town, right?
I will do that.
Which one?
The second one.
Okay.
3 success, 5 advantage.
Okay. So the places that are immediately like immediately known to people who come into town would be the Cocoon, which is a really nice inn in the Northwest District. Which actually starts at the Northwest District. It would be the west, east, north. Yeah, sorry, it's in this district here. Yeah. So that's one of the ones that anyone coming into town who's got any money would actually go to. You know about In and Out, which is a little bit more for people who don't have a lot of money. And then lastly, for people who really don't have a lot of money or who are looking for a place for like sanctuary, there's apparently someone who's known to be called the Linen Spinner, who finds places for people to sleep. He doesn't have an inn per se, but he's really more so runs like if anyone's got an extra place to stay, he finds people in need to put into those rooms, so to speak, depending on what you're looking for.
How about the In and Out? Because I definitely don't have a lot of money. Also, I have been there before, and I didn't die.
Like all of those reasons.
Those are reasonable. Also, I feel like it's the least noticeable going there, you know.
Uh-huh.
You guys make your way towards the In and Out, which is coming down by 6. All right, you guys approach this place through the stilts, vaguely reminiscent from your last time there, and it's still open this time of night. And the lady running it is an older, cream-colored, rough around the edges, half ogre female. She's got white curly hair and a big bald spot on the top of her head. And the curly hair is kind of just kept real short and bunchy. And she kind of greets the door, kind of opening it with like a grisly eye, so to speak, and kind of hunched down. And you looking for a place to stay? Kind of looks
Ye-
down.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Rich. You got coin? I know you were sparse last time I saw you.
I got a little bit.
I've got some coin.
Alright, well, 3 silver. I'm afraid I'm not a charity around here.
3 silver per person, or 3 silver for all of us? Just making sure.
Oh. There's a third of you. Normally I'd go 2 silver apiece, but how about 5?
That sounds reasonable.
Well, that's for a usual room, just so you're aware. I'm not going to be sticking you back in my hidey hole. 5 silver.
Normal room, my favorite kind of room. Not a cold, wet, Gary hole.
Okay. Well, are you looking for food? That's going to run you 2 more silver each. Hot meal. Hot meals, by the way, mechanically, guys, will give you a boost for the entire next day. And I believe if you sleep in a tavern bed, you get to recover 2 health centers.
That's just fine. Here you go. We'll all have nice hot meals and a room, and I just paid the full cost. Thank you guys
Let's
again
go.
for helping me.
That'll be 11 silver.
It's on me.
Alright. You almost feel like the whole place kind of like does the whole like with her movements. It's like the place is built on the stilts, and she's a rather heavy woman. But the denizens here seem to find comfort in this place with its light swaying and its treacherous build. All right, we're all rested for the next day. You guys can recover all strain, recover 2 health, and you can have a boost for this next day on any checks made. What are you guys off to? I'm assuming you guys get up at the crack of dawn, or are you looking to sleep in, go somewhere?
Well, I want to get to that the climbing gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not an issue. It would be too hard to find climbing gear. There's a pawn shop named the Scraped Scraps that sells a lot of odds and ends, and there's also Bushman's Bazaar, which is named after Bushman Farms. They sell a lot of general goods at the market, and those would probably be the best 2 places for you guys to go for just like your run-of-the-mill supplies.
And if it wouldn't be too much trouble, I must have been out of my mind a bit earlier, but I kind of threw all of my food away. So, might need to pick up more for the road at some point. Maybe.
Yeah, we should get more rations.
I also would require rations.
Everyone's like, oops, I need food.
Well, less oops, more we just came in from
Yeah.
the forest. And then we turned in our job, and then we got kind of pseudo-abducted, and it was just, we've been busy.
So climbing gear first, rations too.
You guys want to go to the Scraped Scraps or Bushman's Bazaar? Bushman's Bazaar is going to have way more food options. Scraped Scraps is going to have way more utility options.
So can you ping both those locations again?
Bushman's Bazaar is a market that's going to be located in that main district over here. Actually, sorry, it's going to be probably closer towards Bushman's farms here. Bushman's farm storage area. They would have an area in both sides of town, actually. So they would have an option for people in this district to buy food, and they would have another one over here. Scraped Scraps, oddly enough, is actually over here. It is a place of where they require to be along one of the major freight locations.
Whichever one's closer, I guess.
Yeah, you can hit
Yeah, we're gonna
up.
have to
You
hit
can hit up
both.
Scraped Scraps on your way to Bushman's Bazaar.
Excuse me.
Okay. For the sake of brevity, I'll say that you guys make it through town all right, without being accosted. So if you're heading to Scraped Scraps first, what you find yourself at is what looks to be like a fenced-in area with like barbed wire along the perimeter. It looks to me like a scrapyard or something like that, with all manner of things sticking up and above beyond the walls that you can see behind it, with some lean-tos, and you hear like noises, strange things that you probably wouldn't have heard elsewhere as you walk through this town. And as you kind of enter the grounds, you can see that there's a centralized area that almost looks kind of like a tiki hut, a tiki hut if it had like a tin roof. So like no walls, just four large beams with a tin roof over the top. And underneath of it, you see that there's been large tables set up for trade and whatnot. And then there's aisles underneath some more of these lean-to structures set up for goods. And then there's a whole bunch of like piled crap in this area, like in the kind of the back areas of this place. And then there's some of the piles are covered with an oiled canvas as well. And the whole time you guys are walking along, you find yourselves that there's actually steel grating that's elevating this place so that way water can pass underneath. And you see a strange figure with a strange mask on their head with and they kind of as you guys walk in, you hear the bell go off, like you guys kind of step on these grating, and it seems to click down on something that rings the bell, and the figure stops whatever they're doing, but it looked like some sort of strange torch was in their hand, this long metallic thing with a small tip that seemed to be causing great sparks on the contraption that they were working on. And this figure starts to stand up, and immediately you see what appears to be some sort of fox-like tail on a rather lithe animalian figure. They have got a heavy leather apron on, and they pull the mask back, and they have the face of some sort of, I don't know if it would be a coyote or a fox, but very like canine-esque in that nature, but more of like one of your lither, I don't know what that kind of class is, where you got like coons, foxes. You can't tell if it's more cat-like or dog-like. But she pulls the mask off and kind of looks over at you guys, and kind of gestures and starts making her way towards you. Kind of pats out a small patch of smoking fur as she kind of does that. She kind of walks over towards you. Welcome to Straight Scraps. How can I help you?
We need climbing gear.
Climbing gear. Okay. Well, are you looking to do some mountaineering, or are you looking more for a day trip, so to speak?
Well, I'm looking to scale a 300-foot wall.
Oh, sheer walls. Well, we got some supplies around here. Are you going to be doing any terraforming while you're at it? We got mason's gears, we got explosives, we got pittons and hammers, as well as rope. We got chain, we got climbing shoes as well. We got backpacks. You're going to need a hardy backpacks with plenty of carabiners. He kind of looks around. Let me think here. How high is the elevation starting point? You know that 300 yards ain't much, but if you're gonna be up in the highlands before you meet your destination, you're gonna need goggles as well that won't frost over. We got some special oils over there, and she kind of just keeps going and going and going about what's available in her store.
This lady just going ham.
Things that get through rock, you say?
You like the sound of explosives. That could make this mission very fun.
And I'm not saying... My character is not saying this in the story, but we are fighting rock men here. And I have nothing that can do anything to rock guys right now. So, what's the equipment? I bet I can find it somewhere.
Yeah, it should be in the chat, the Discord chat for gear.
Yeah, that's fair point. Well, didn't they say that if you submerge them in water, that can get through their defenses?
It said some you can submerge in water, and they recommend you beat them with hammers.
Ah. I have a magic sword, and Wretch has a bonk stick, so 2 of us are equipped.
Yeah.
We do have hammers of a variety.
So
True.
climbing gear is 20 silver. How is everybody sitting on money? Because I think I have quite a bit, and I feel like I owe you guys for helping me out with my quest anyway.
I have 21 silver at the moment.
I have 18 total.
I will give everybody some treats here. Does everybody want a climbing gear?
Sure.
One for you.
Yeah.
And one for you.
Yay, climbing gear.
So,
And one for me.
I know it says in there that it's 20 silver.
No, I know. We'll negotiate. I'm just like
Okay,
roughly.
I'm gonna go grab my drink while you guys communicate a little bit more about what you want and how you're gonna plan.
Yeah, I don't-
Metagame for you guys.
I don't plan on going into the Highlands, and I think we should stick with kind of basic climbing gear because I want to blow the place up because that would be sick, but
I think
we're
I
not
think
trying to
it's-
draw attention to ourselves right now, and I'm not sure that after blowing up the penthouse that they'd still be docile.
I think we should have
Yeah.
explosives just in case things go bad.
I did not hear anything you said before, just in case.
Oh,
Just in
sorry.
case things go bad.
I was just saying
Yeah.
that I think we might want to have explosives in case things go bad because I at least know that could do some serious damage and
It's true. We could block the path behind us.
yeah.
Now, how cool would it be to steal the rod and then parachute down into town? Eh? I think that'd be pretty cool.
That would
That'd
be
be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool. All right.
I don't know if parachutes are commonly accessible, but man, if they are, we should just go get them.
Well, big blanket and some string.
I'm sure I could figure something out.
Yeah, we just need lots of thin but sturdy material and some way to hold on to it. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I'm just looking through the
right.
equipment list a little bit. Let's see. All right, we did want to ask a bit about the explosives.
Go ahead and enter first for whatever you'd like to ask with this lady.
Well, we certainly could use the basic climbing gear here. We don't really need like the goggles or anything like that. For the high altitudes, that's fine. But if we do get into a bit of a rough spot, it would be good to have some of that the dynamite, as you said.
Well, if you're looking for dynamite, what kind of... Are you looking 1 ton, 2 ton? Of course, you were gonna need a detonator for that, unless you're looking to do it by the stick, of course. But if you're a fumbler, I would always suggest to go with detonators.
If what?
If you're a fumbler, then I strongly suggest that you go with a detonator. You want to be able to lighten that and drop it in your lap.
We're not fumblers, right? We're really.
Oh, I'm quite the opposite of a bumble.
We're fumblers. We're fumblers.
Oh.
I'm not. I can handle the explosives.
Otherwise, you can go.
Okay.
You can go with an extended wick, and that won't. You'll have to light it and prepare some time. You'll have a load of time on your hands. But detonators don't come cheap. So those are quite a lot of effort in order to make it. So
No, that's all right. It's not like we're like trying to make a business or a habit out of it or anything. It's just kind of maybe the extended wick type thing would be
would be smart. Yeah, just
Sure, I
stick
mean,
by
I can-
stick, extended wick.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I can get an extended wick on this. And are you looking? How many tons are you looking for?
Tons. Oh, just a
So
couple of
tons is like I think it's like a measure of explosive power. That,
Oh,
like,
yes.
Are you trying to bring down a mountainside, or do you need to blow? Like you're next to mine, so like the assumption is that you're trying to like blow up walls in controlled, like certain
Yeah.
controlled measures, right? So like just kind of like
Yeah. Yeah. Just maybe like one doorway, maybe one or two doorways, maybe. You know.
Really in a road, that sort of thing.
kind of thinks.
Yeah.
Well,
Roughly.
I suppose I could load up some prefab pipe, and that should give you. We can do it by footlongs. How you thinking maybe 2 footlongs then? 2 foot-long pipe explosives.
Foot long, huh?
Yeah, I mean I can put in an end cap with that, and pull out a wick, and you can coil some up, and go ahead and I can adhere that to the side there for you. You're gonna want to roll it out, of course. If it needs to last a while, I recommend that you get the oil dipped wicks first, just because, well, if these will become, with the humidity, they'll wear out.
So I think we're okay. What do you mean, like how long? I guess it's not like we're like
length of a
gonna
wick.
be using them in town or anything. So
Well, I mean, if you want to light it from 100 yards back or so, then you're gonna probably want 100 yards of wick. But if it's accessible and you can light it, I mean, 100 yards of wick's gonna take 10 minutes to burn. So, as long as you have a distance that you can walk away, then you don't need 100 yards. It's just a matter of, not wanting to scale something while having already lit it.
that makes sense.
We can cut the wick into sections, though, right?
Yeah, you can cut the wick into sections. You can always cut off, but it's much harder to add on, as I say.
Yeah, start with the long wick. We'll decide accordingly. I guess that's fine.
So, do we know anything about? Okay, and I'll save that question for afterwards.
All right. So
All right, I can do 2 foot-long pipes filled with dynamite, and give you about a 50-foot wick. How much you think? I mean, that's no problem. I can get that whipped up. Yeah, give me a couple hours. But how much you think you think that's worth these days? Dynamite's pretty precious.
and
But-
3 sets of climbing gear.
Oh yeah,
We're gonna.
yeah. I mean, I can get those for you. Give me a negotiation check.
Yeah. I guess since. Where is that? 1 success, 2 advantage.
So you can gather that this person seems very technically intelligent, but isn't very good at like the business side of this business. And you get all of the climbing gear at 15 silver apiece. Dynamite, however,
volume discount.
or dynamite, is much more expensive because, like, outside of Lemoore and maybe like the Duragar or even one of the other Bellingham, it doesn't exist, like, at all. So it's gonna run you at least at 1 gold a piece per pipe bomb.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Oh boy.
And how much is 1 gold?
100 silver.
I mean,
Fuck.
I have it, but otherwise,
We don't have to use explosives. It would just be a lot of.
do you have just more like fire bombs or things like that? That's
Oh, what? I mean, if you're blowing rock, I strongly suggest that you go with the compressed cylinders. But I suppose what are you looking to do? I can really whip up anything given enough time.
Well, I wasn't expecting it to be, that pricey.
A couple of the Duragar, the tattooed, hairless dwarves come by. One of them looks at. Hey, Mizza. We got some stuff out back that just came in that you might want to take a look at. The guy's trying to charge an arm and a leg for it, but I don't think that's right. I mean, we could probably get the same thing from Grissom's down the street. Just don't worry about it for a moment. I got a customer on hand.
Okay. Well, do you have, like, maybe, like, do you think it would be better maybe a pickaxe or like maybe a hammer?
Hammer's good.
Hammer maybe.
I mean, I don't mean to step in professionally speaking, but if you're looking to mine, pickaxe has always been the way to go.
Would pickaxe be fine against the onyx too, or is it better for they specifically said better with the hammer. But
Yeah, like a blunt weapon would be better.
okay. Maybe just more trying to break through the stone, not like mine specific thing.
Right, she kind of scratches her head. She's not really getting the social cues on that. She goes, well, if you want hammers, I got hammers too. So you can look at the weapons list and any sort of mace or mallet or warhammer. It's gonna be what you're looking for. A mace would be more appropriate than a warhammer. If you're looking for a one-handed.
Well, that's only 75. So at least. But it's not as cool as a stick of dynamite, guys.
I know.
It is not.
I'm just thinking of how we can block pursuers after we make our heist and perhaps damage their penthouse, but would rather cause confusion than draw attention to ourselves, or at least get in and get out quietly and quickly.
Yeah. I don't know. Do we think it's worth it? I have money if we want it. Otherwise,
I don't want to do that right now.
yeah.
Not dynamite.
All right.
Yeah, no, dynamite's too expensive, also very obvious, and drawing a lot of attention to ourselves.
Yeah, let's wait for the domestic terrorism.
Okay.
You guys can also go do some side quests and come back to this too.
No.
Yeah.
I will pick up the hammer though because
We gotta do the gang subplot, otherwise we're gonna get hunted down by our only sort of friends.
It's
Right.
true.
yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna pick that up. I have to edit all my sheet and stuff, but I will pay the 75.
Okay.
I don't necessarily have the room to carry it. We'll figure it out.
You're just like dragging it behind you.
Like I legit don't know what to do.
Yeah, I
but
looked
figure
at
out what to do.
backpacks and they're 50 fucking silver.
I already have.
I don't have one yet. I'm trash. The trash rat.
Hello.
Well, garbage.
Are you gonna make your
Garbage
son
all over
too?
the street.
One of those things that you need to do ahead of time.
No. He will not be hidden. So no.
You don't want a porcupine like.
Yeah, no, he will not make this a. Yeah, no, he's not gonna.
Do you have what I'm looking for? It would be assembled kind of like a nutcracker, except instead of cracking nuts, you're holding on to a rope so you don't burn your hands as you slide down.
Oh, rope grab.
Right. Like, back in college, one of the senior design projects for the Air Force was like making some kind of way for operators to descend from a helicopter without burning their hands. And I'm wondering if we could get something like that so that on our way back down the wall, we can just rappel down rapidly.
Well, I'd strongly suggest you just get a longer whip, but I can certainly run something through here. I figure if I just get a piece of pipe, run it up the rope, I could make a spring-actuated grip on the inside. So if you hold the grip button, it'll give a commensurate amount of pressure on it, and then you just release the pressure when you want to slide it up the rope. I should be able to make something like that pretty quick. It's gonna run you. That would be 5 silver.
Huh,
Rope
that's not so bad.
Yeah. So all it is
Everybody
just a
gets one.
sleeve that would go on the rope, and if you held the button down, you could hold on to the button, and it would grip internally for you, and if you released it, it would move freely up and down the rope. So you could theoretically have 2 of these, which you're getting a pair of them. If you grabbed them and you squeezed, you would slow your descent, and if you eased up, you would increase the speed of your descent, so to speak. Sorry, it'd be the other way around. It would innately grip.
And spring release.
Yeah. And she goes, I included a small little, I thought it was, a small little eyelet between your fingers there, too, so you can potentially tether it to whatever you're looking for. So that way, if you fell, it could grab the rope if you tethered yourself to the rope grabs.
Hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Tie off.
She's so bad at business, too. If you buy the set, she kind of goes, well, I kind of promised you guys climbing gear. That makes sense. And she'll give everyone else a set with the climbing gear.
Let's go.
So wait, it'd be climbing gear plus what?
Rope grab.
Okay. Cool. Did you? How much was that?
5.
5?
5 total
Okay.
for all 3 sets.
That's fine. I counted that off as well. So everybody gets 1 climbing gear and 1 rope grab. All right.
Thanks, Zara.
Yeah. Can I get 1 more rope while I'm at it?
Sure. Yeah, she's got bundles of it. You can just
Yeah.
get it for base price.
Okay. Anything else anybody wants to snag?
No.
Okay, let's go get some food.
I already shopped for food like an idiot because I didn't think it'd be hard to come by trail rations, but I can undo that.
No, that's fine. You guys can meet up with. There's a guy named Zarth in Bushman's Bazaar who can get you just as much as you need. So you meet Zarth, and we do that, and we can skip ahead of it because we have about an hour left tonight to play.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you guys want to actually try to do something last before we're done for the night.
Okay.
Could we take a small break at 8?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna... Oh, that's fine. Alright, I got my rations.
Okay. I need someone to give me a knowledge people check. Because you guys do it.
I am decent at that, but if anybody else is better, they are fine to do so. I have 1 and 1. Well, 1 yellow, 1 green. Not like I already rolled.
I get 4 green.
All right, you're better.
Yeah, we'll let you do it.
Very smart.
4 success.
Okay. So, based off of the patterns of people that you've been seeing, the penthouse is more likely to be filled with occupants during the night than during the day. but you're more likely to be seen trying to get in during the day than during the night.
Mm-hmm.
So just let me know what you guys are planning.
And I feel like I want less company, even if I can get seen, because we could BS our way through while we're there.
Hmm.
If we're seen.
Yeah, which I assume people would see us climbing the wall in broad daylight, though.
Perhaps.
Nobody ever looks up.
No.
There's a whole movie about that.
There is.
We've seen it together.
And keep in mind, you guys do have story points too. So I'm always super open to creative use of the story points. I've got that Emery has 0, and everyone else has all of theirs.
Yeah. I got 0. Well, do we still do the wall during the daylight then? Is that what
Not
you're
that.
thinking?
Not the daylight. No, that'd be silly.
Well, we could do it late at night, just before dawn, and then do reconnaissance from the top of the wall.
You guys could,
I doubt.
Yeah, you guys could climb up towards the place and then wait till daytime to enter the place. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that idea.
I doubt the rock people are going to be using that wall as their means of egress.
Yeah, okay, I like that idea. I do have a small errand in town I could run. Like, we could go to Chettle Corp and see about if getting that stuff for the tree, the Insomnium guy.
Yeah, the moss.
And I have a book I can drop off at Chettle Corp as well.
We also have to find Wylan the centaur for Elsa.
Did you want to ask around for that guy?
Yeah, I'm down to ask around if we're just in a holding pattern for the day.
I mean, we're at the markets. That's probably the best spot. I'll let you chitter chatter.
Maggie,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the nearest bar or a place where people gather for food, drink, and merriment.
Okay, yeah, if you're coming from 6, give me a streetwise check for figuring out the best place to go in this particular case.
We're gonna do some
I am the wisest.
science.
So you guys are going after the centaur, not doing the jet corp thing right now.
Wow, 0-3.
0 and 3. Okay, yeah. You're not the best in town, and so you kind of seem a bit lost. And you're like, has anyone seen a centaur? Oh, what? A horse person. He's got little clippity cloppities, and so they're kind of like, you're kind of a little lost, and finally someone comes by and goes, "Hey, bud," and you see this like guy who looks like he's got like some sort of crank system that he's doing this. It almost like he's got like an elliptical handbars that he's using to articulate 4 legs that are basically machine components that articulate like they're on a rotating like a bike cog, and they kind of have to pivot multiple times in order to make steps. But he kind of like does this and like forward, and goes, and it like spins it around a little bit and then backs up towards you. Hey, if you're looking for any old particular person, best place to check up at the tabernacle. Harvesters keep logs of all of the incoming patients and subjects, as well as any sort of requests. A friend like yours, probably a bit of a biological intrigue. Sounds certainly strange to me. As someone who's never seen you said a centaur what?
A centaur.
A centaur. Oh wow. Yeah, that's a mouthful. Yeah, no, I've never seen a centaur.
Thank you, good sir.
It's like a person on top of a horse, but if you take off the person legs and the horse head and you put them together, and they're born that way.
Uh-huh. But also, don't ruin the magic.
Well, I guess I'm a bit of a centaur now, huh? Clip, clap, clip, tink, 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 with his 4 little legs. Tink, 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 tink.
Okay.
Anyways.
Well,
Alright.
that is interesting. Even more fascinating that you didn't even know what a centaur looked like.
Yeah, it's not common. It's not common knowledge. So the best place that you could go to figure out
Yeah.
where people like that, like demographics like that, would be through the harvesters, or through the tabernacle, which is like the harvesters work for the guys at the tabernacle.
And one of you two that the harvesters don't want to kill and maim, go ask them.
For a cent, I think they would be as confused as this machine man would, I believe. Because the implication I got was he thought centaur as in somebody who was made that way, not somebody who was born that way.
Because I was born this way.
You did say it'd be the best place to ask about. Don't mind if we're just killing time, I guess. If I could go ask, but as long as there's still time to do that and go to Chettlecorp, I'm good.
You'd also be passing by Chettlecorp on your way to the tabernacle.
All right, we'll do that then.
Okay, I'm gonna 5-minute break, Dustin. Is that what you're looking for? Okay, 5-minute break while I review some of my notes.
All right.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna grab myself a chocolate. Also, I was very surprised how expensive backpacks are. Yeah. 50 silver? I was like, Jesus. Yeah, it's more for, I understand it from a game balance perspective. It's just, it's funny from knowing what a backpack is perspective.
Yeah, there's also weird things like you could put on armor and a backpack and suddenly be lighter than if you weren't wearing anything at all, too.
Yep.
So, like, yeah, there's just some things like that that we have to just kind of like squint by.
I will say, everybody keeps referring to me as having plate armor. Do you guys know I have leather, or are we using it as... Thematically, I have plate armor, but it's shitty quality, so it functions like leather does.
Let's go with the second one, because your picture, you have plate armor?
Yeah.
And I imagine that you just, like, you're wearing, like, something that you bought from a pawn shop 20 years ago, sort of thing.
Yeah. And for a character, I wanted plate armor, but it's obviously a late game tiered item, so I wasn't like, can I just, like, have it? I was like, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, I try to just envision what you guys have for pictures, but, and then as you level up, obviously things go a little bit sideways from there, but, yeah, so you can just say that, I mean...
Yeah.
I'm not
well, it's
obviously
just people kept referring to it, and I didn't want to derail the conversation to be like, well, actually, my sheet says leather. But since we're in a break, I thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah.
Like, just making sure the DM knows I don't actually have technical plate. Not that loaded. Okay, well, I'm gonna go grab a chocolate now that I've said everything I wanted to say. BRB. I have returned.
Welcome.
God dang it, Dustin.
Yeah, that's right. You super TV static.
1, it's delicious. 2, I'm sorry I called you Charon again.
I don't take that as a bad thing. I think having a guy with wings would be pretty cool right about now.
It would be. It would be, but it still doesn't make it right.
They're kind of the same character. I really know how to play one guy when it comes to D&D.
Kinda, but at least you're Norn. At least you're Norn, it's more lore-wise accurate. If you're polite, it was very funny that your Norskin was polite. Because I mean, Norskins you could just translate to Viking Raider, so you were the world's most polite Viking Raider. It was very funny.
That's what gets him.
Yeah, I mean, it made you unique.
Man, I haven't gotten anything from Uspis that I'm supposed to today or the past couple days. So I ordered some special Japanese edition monsters. And a new blender because my $12 blender from Kmart finally shit the bed after 7 years. And a new Chinese cookbook, and none of it's here. And that Chinese cookbook has been out for delivery since Christmas Eve.
All right.
Oof,
So Uspis is just dropping the ball.
that's alright. So many
Yeah,
presents to deliver.
I keep having it like Etsy not ever deliver whatever I buy from them.
Yeah.
So
That
this is
happened to me
one of things.
for the first time this year, and it was really annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had issues with UPS for the first time. At first, they said that they had delivered it to, because my motorcycle jacket, they had delivered it to Airgas in Duluth, which is a welding supply store.
All right.
I had to call these motherfuckers 4 times. 4 fucking times. For the dude at their customer service center to just patch me in to the guy at the local UPS dispatch and just tell me what the hell's going on. Which was, oh, we put the delivery sticker on the wrong package. Sorry about that. It's out for delivery where it's supposed to go today. 4 times.
Yeah.
My
Seems like
laptop
that.
came 11 days early, and just yesterday, after I'd gotten it 10 days ago, I got all of the notifications about it being shipped, it being almost there, and it arriving.
Wow.
Like, that's a big purchase to just be like, oopsie, it's here.
Yeah, I've ordered my headphone amp, for example. That was 13 or 1400 after shipping, and I got it from China. So the guy I bought it from, he did DHL. So after it got to America, it was just kind of in a black hole until it showed up one day.
Yeah.
Because that's the fucky thing with DHL, if you didn't know. once they forward it to somebody domestic, then it just kind of shows up on your door one day. They don't ever give you information on who they gave the package to or who is, tracking information or anything like that.
Oh, fun.
Which is the case for two of the things I ordered, my sweet new Chinese cookbook and my Japanese candy water.
Ooh. Good luck.
Yeah.
Logistics are fun.
All right, you guys approach Chetelcorp, which is very much so looks like the kind of the picture that I have for number 3 there. It's a large structure, a large squat structure with almost a pyramidal shape to its different floors, with the outside of each of the top decks appearing to be pergolas full of rare plants. But the front doors that greet you look to be some sort of old ornate carved wood that have been opened and propped, ready for the day's business, so to speak, as you cross the bridge from the smelting district. Coming in through the front entrance to this place, you hear the sounds of weird, like alien birds off in the distance, and at the front is a receptionist type desk. Sitting at the receptionist type desk is a portly orc with a braided goatee and really, really long frizzy hair, kind of just pushed back and let to kind of just go in the back. I have a picture like a Greek woman's thick hair sort of thing, just kind of behind him, and he's just sitting there with it. It looks like he's just finished off like a heavy breakfast recently, and he's kind of like shoved some stuff in a drawer as you guys have kind of come in. Come in.
Oh, hi. How's it
You
going?
busy?
Chetelcorp where we can buy the moss?
You're looking for moss.
Mhm.
Here at Chetelcorp, we are providers and we are providers of rare materials far and wide. However, unless you're looking to be buying in bulk, I would strongly suggest that you refer to some of the dispensaries here in town, as mainly we do business with large manufactories. Now, that being said, we do have special provisions looking for adventurers who'd be willing to go out and procure some of the more rarer ingredients that require a specific harvesting. Are you said you're looking to acquire mosses, is that correct?
Did Treeman give us anything specific?
Well,
Yeah,
you
you're
wanted feathered filigree moss from the Highlands.
feathered filigree moss. Well, that is an uncommon ingredient. You could pick that up at we are actually partnered with one second. No. We are
All you have to do is go over to this other building, talk to this assistant, and she will get you the hookup. We promise. Just it'll take 7 to 10 business days.
right? We're
Just writing this form here, and here.
We're actually partnered with the Silver Lining Smoke Shop down in the Market District. Just talk to Vix Ecstatics, and they'll be able to provide you with anything that you need of the alchemical sort.
What was the place? Sorry.
Actually, sorry, he would also be partnered with, it'd be the Twisted Tincture. So the Twisted Tincture is an alchemy shop in the Market District run by a man named Skriddle. And then there is a smoke shop that you'd be able to buy them from, also in the Market District, run by someone by the name of Vix Ecstatics. but
Oh.
you don't really need to memorize that. I've got it all written down.
Oh, well, that's perfect. Appreciate that advice. There was one other thing. A while back, I stumbled upon this ship that was in the big sea over there. That must have been working for Chettle's Corp. I have a journal from one of the scientists who was on that. That was well, met an untimely end. It was very strange. But I have the scientist's journal for who must, and I thought the research must be valuable to Chettle Corp, I'm sure. Just hoping to return that.
I'm sorry. You're gonna have to back up. You were the Crystal Tar. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you came across one of our vessels.
Mm-hmm.
And you raided that vessel?
No, you see, it was in the Crystal Tarn, and everyone was deceased. There was this massive dead sea creature that had somehow infected them.
Oh, you're referencing the what was the name of the ship?
Oh God, I don't know.
I
That
have
was like
it here.
half a year ago. Be glad I remembered I had it.
Right. Sorry, I have it right here. Take care. You're referencing the
Leeward Star? No,
the Leeward Star.
nope. That was Osia's ship. That was the stray ship. Was the Tidal Leisure?
Thank you. Oh, you're referencing the Tidal Leisure. Yes. He kind of starts shaking his hand, and you see like he kind of like he's getting excited. This is where the aberrant subjects came from.
Aberrant.
Yeah.
So,
As a matter of fact, there's going to be some folks who want to talk to you about what happened there.
oh,
Strange indeed. He kind of looks. You were on that ship. And he kind of like looks around, and you see him like grab into his drawers and like
oh,
pull something out of the drawers. And he kind of like it looks to be some sort of fetish or like a religious icon or whatever.
Oh.
And he kind of like
I got
sits it down.
but I got better. He's a great healer. Don't worry about that.
The black spot. The black spot. All the sailors. They died from the black spot. And some of them rose from the dead and disappeared.
Oh, I mean, he got me better. There's no one still sick with it here. They're not
He kind of looks.
survivors.
Just wait one moment. I'm gonna find someone who needs to talk to you. Bertrand, wait with these guys. You see this gnoll come from the front door and kind of looks over. All right, boss. He kind of walks over towards you guys and kind of got his hand on a scimitar handle as he kind of like strodes up. Now looks at you. Hey. And it's this gnoll. He's got a very Doberman-like face and color structure, but that very kind of very classic canine face. And it looks like he's got like a couple tufts of hair missing from here and there, and like a bite mark out of one of his ears at some point or another.
Hi. I just had this book from the Tidal Leisure, one of your scientists there before he met his untimely end. Well, I just wanted to get this back in your guys' hands.
You wait there for about 10 minutes. And
I'm gonna ask this guard about Wyland.
Bertrand's like, I wouldn't know anything about that. As far as the book, he's just hold tight.
Do you know
You'll
a
get
centaur?
A centaur?
Do you know a centaur?
I've run across one here or there for my travels. Why?
In your
what's the deal?
travels or around this deity.
Hmm. You know what? Roll me a d6.
Let's go. That's the kind of odds I like. 1 out of 12.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's 1 out of 6, and then times 2 because sometimes it's just not good enough. 5.
5. Here goes.
Don't.
I mean, no centaurs live in town. Kind of thinks. Maybe. Nah. Nothing off the top of my head. There was an ad asking for one. That's what. Yeah, there was an ad looking for subjects. Actually, saw it just a couple of days ago down in the slums. I was thinking, poor advertising down in the slums. They're not going to be there. There's not even a good. I mean, you're better luck posting by the stalls. They're the only ones that are actually capable of holding the stilt. They wouldn't be able to get up the stilts. Yeah, but no one asks Bertrand about what they're looking for around here. It seems these days. And at that point, the paunchy, the large, sorry, not paunchy, the heavy set orc comes back with another heavy set person with them. This what looks to be a rat. So much shorter, and smaller stature than the orc. But they got a big gut to them, and it seems to be a very small chest in comparison. And they've got your classic, what's the doctor's mask or whatever, the old school witch doctor's
Plague
masks.
mask?
Yeah, the plague masks on, and they kind of have it like perched up on top of their head, and they kind of come around. Where he goes, that's her right there. And she looks over, and you see that there's like a very possumy face to this rat, and with beady black eyes. She kind of looks over at you guys, and she's got a classic like med lab robe on. That's it looks like it's seen better days. And she kind of looks over at you guys. And, one moment. I hope you don't mind, but I'm gonna stay back here for a moment as we converse. I was told, Wooland, my name's Sponge. Sponge, yeah.
Lovely to meet you.
I was told you had some information you were willing to share about what happened at the Tidal Leisure.
Yes, well, I have this book from your scientist. It really does explain quite a bit about what happened to the Tidal Leisure. They had been, and maybe you already knew this, but looking at this massive dead sort of sea creature in the middle of the Crystal Tarn, and it seems that it infected some of the people on the ship.
She kind of looks down for a moment and kind of like wipes on her eyes. Yeah, that would be Taxonomer Woodrow's journal then.
Yes, exactly. So I have that. He was trying to find a cure, but he failed, and nobody really made it. I'm sorry to say.
She you can see that this kind of like really struck a chord with her.
But anyway, so I thought I wanted to return this, and I don't suppose there's been any other survivors?
She kind of if you wouldn't mind, I would take a look at the journal. And she kind of puts the mask down and comes forward and takes it from you. And she's wearing gloves too at this point. She kind of looks at it. Indeed, it's all here.
No, don't do that. It's gonna be too hard to hear over there.
In a muffled through the mask, you hear.
Yeah.
Indeed, it's all here. I'm gonna take some time to look at this later, but I really would appreciate some time where we could sit down and cover more details. But she kind of looks over. Danik, if you could go ahead and pay to these individuals 5 gold for the journal. Yes, ma'am. Just mark it in the ledger. You mark it from the capital budget on the aberrant subjects. Yes, ma'am. And he kind of like you see him like kind of go towards the back, and he's got a key that he's got to pull out, and he's kind of like those old school PO boxes. He's got certain things he's got to open up and pull some change out, and he brings it over and kind of puts it in a bag, and he's like, here, and he throws the bag like onto the ground in front of you. I mean, no offense. She goes,
Well, better, really.
but it's best to take precautions. You see, I've got good news and I've got bad news. Good news is that 2 of your comrades did survive.
Okay, that's good.
Osaya and his second mate, or his first mate, Boyer. But the rest of the crew, they didn't make it. Several of them, in fact, turned into monstrously manic creatures and lashed out at some of my fellow examiners and hurt them really bad. And it seemed to infect them too, and several of them, in fact, perished, not from wounds that would normally be considered lethal. But what's more chilling is that after the black spot, we really don't have a name for it yet, burned its way through the victims. We brought the bodies to the morgue, and several of them went missing. So, you'll forgive us our caution, but still a bit curious on these kinds of events. And Osaya and Boyer told us about the events in great detail of what they could recall, but they weren't intellectually minded, or intellectually intended folks. So this journal will be great, a great resource for us. So thank you. But
Yeah, of course.
if you're willing to sit down for a day, we would like to discuss a bit more on your own experiences with this, and maybe what's been what you've been up to since we have. We're not exactly sure where the subjects are, but we have concerns that are probably best not discussed here.
Okay. What time of day is it anyway?
Noonish, one-ish.
Well, let me talk to my friends here really quick. I could sit here and tell them a bit about this. You guys weren't here before all of this went down for me, but anyway, you guys have been so good to me, and I give you guys 2 gold each.
Let's go, dude. I can go get a backpack.
And if you wanted to go ask around about that centaur or the things like that, you can just pick me up back here in a couple hours. Would that work?
That sounds good. Also, I think these people are running the thing with the centaur and they wanted a help wanted ad. I think, probably.
Mm-hmm.
That nice guard man was telling me.
Perfect. A lead. Just pick me up in a few.
Yeah, you want to get back to that other business.
Okay.
If everybody's okay with splitting up a little bit, just to save time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're staying to discuss the events.
Mhm.
The other 2, you guys are going to the Harvesters?
Yeah.
Or
Wait, I thought there was a help wanted ad for a centaur.
Yeah.
there
I'm guessing
was...
he's implying that's for the centaurs. I mean, the harvesters.
Bertrand said that he saw one in the slums. Yeah. But not near the Harvesters.
Not near the harvesters. Okay.
Correct. So it'd be down towards 6 that he was mentioning, because he was talking about stilts and stuff like that. Not by 6, which is...
Well, let's head down there, my Norn friend. Also, can I buy a backpack because they're decently common?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Rather than go through a whole spiel.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna spend 50 silver on that, which 1 gold is 100 silver.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I have 1 gold and 68 silver now. Okay. And the backpack. And my encumbrance skyrockets to 13 instead of 8.
Oh, encumbrance threshold. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now you're no longer like holding all your shit. Like I just imagine like you had your climbing gear just like tucked under your arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Okay. So me and my Norn friend are gonna go towards the sticks.
Okay, and you're just looking around for this poster, correct?
A posting, or if we just see a centaur. I mean, I'm not gonna rule out the possibility.
Okay, I need you guys to give me an investigation or streetwise check as you guys roam around looking for this thing. Meanwhile, you're asked to just recant your tale, Emery. Which for everyone in the group, basically, she was on board one ship and they went into the Crystal Tarn. They ran into a gigantic mass in the water, like gigantic.
Basically like a giant whale.
Yeah, but like the size of many football fields. And they ran aground on this sludge that turned out to be this corpse. They tried to save another ship. When they got there, everyone on the ship was dead. Then they got attacked by fish people, and they found out that basically the people were doing an experiment. So they were trying to harvest whatever the crap this stuff was, and it basically gooed on them. And then they started transforming and devolving into these things. The fish people were some of the original sailors, but there was scientists on board the ship trying to run experiments on this thing. And yeah, everyone either ended up committing suicide or turning super ill and then turning into these nasty creatures. In the process, several of the crewmates got sick, and they ended up trying to just cut and run and take the ships and get the hell out of there. And many of them got super, super ill on their way into town. That's including Emery, and that's how you met her, Wretch. You cured her of the black spot. However, many of the sailors, turns out all of them but 2 died. And apparently now some of the bodies went missing. That's the story that Emery tells. In summary, Sponge takes detailed notes as you're talking and corroborates the story. She asks where you guys have been, what you've been doing since coming to town. She asks in detail about Wretch. Do you give her the goods as far as that goes? Say, divine magic, Dahlia, and all that sort of stuff? Or...
As far as that goes, yes. I might not say his name.
You sell me out? No, I'm joking.
No, but I do say what kind of magic you do. I don't say who you are.
Yeah,
by
give me an interpretation check or a charm check.
So I know he's wanted in town, but also it's kind of important for them to know how to heal this if it's going to be a huge issue in town. You said a charm?
Yeah, that's more of like an interpersonal relationships shit. Yeah.
2 and 1.
2 and 1. So you did charm?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now you quickly gather that this person is like a scientist through, right? Like they're really more interested in about those kinds of details. When you start getting into like the godly stuff, they're like, okay, but like how did that work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you're like a rat by the name. He's like, I don't care. Like, how did this work? Right?
Yeah,
like
exactly,
they really don't care about like who you are, where you came from. When you're like, we left town. They didn't ask why you left town.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, you're gone. Okay, then you must be a factor on the missing bodies.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're
Need
like
to
trying
cultivate
check in on
a
that
species
stuff.
of rodent called Biggest Dickus.
Circling back, so one thing that she gets caught on is you mentioned that your friend worships Dahlia. In town, we have several deities that are being worshipped, and one of them being Scrot, the god of adaptation, and is rather popular in town. I fear if you could keep an eye on rumblings in town, as you know, if you come across anything, we're just trying to keep our ears open in town about if there's any sort of reason someone would take subjects or samples from our labs. There's also some weird rumors circulating, which is, as you can see with our front cleric, is hard to contain what happened here, and we're not sure what to make as a lead and what to make as just rampant
Hearsay.
So we are concerned, and thank you for keeping us updated. Of course, there's coin involved if you do find leads. We've also put in with a Natari task around as well, so hopefully that yields some fruit.
Of course, I mean, if I hear anything, I will bring it back to you. I didn't realize what had happened. Thank you for listening and taking this seriously, I guess.
Of course. Thank you. All right. Meanwhile, boys, who did you guys roll yet?
Investigation.
Yes, investigation.
I got
or streetwise.
2 success, 1 advantage.
Okay. It takes you the better part of the afternoon, but you are able to track down. You were able to track down one of the flyers, but it's looks like it's been stomped into some caustic soil. But after you got a chance to see what you're actually looking for, a couple more hours later, you're able to circumnavigate the stilts and come across another flyer. And it looks like it's put out by... You guys are just... I had not expected us to try to hit all of the side quests. So,
It was just the way timing worked.
yeah. It looks like they... there is a wanted poster for a centaur, and below it says any creature with a humanoid torso and a quadrupedic torso, as well as quadrupedic limbs and arms as well. And it shows like a rough picture of what you consider a centaur, except for the front 2 feet are more like a lion's foot than a hoofed. The back 2 are your classic horse hooves. And it's put out by a group called Ammo.
Ammo.
Yes, Ammo is
Spelled like the abbreviation for ammunition.
yeah, capital A, capital M, capital O, not 2 M's.
Okay, so like ammo.
Yep, and as you can see, you are in the district that Ammo is set up, has their HQ set up.
The number 6.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Ammo HQ.
All right.
I look at my Norn compatriot.
That's me.
You wanna go check it out, or should we go? Should we not do this right now?
So we're not too far from 6th, right?
Correct.
Okay. Well, it's on our way back towards Emery anyways?
You speak the true. So now it's been about 5 hours. So it's getting to be evening time for all of you. But we'll say that this is still rough. It's all working out roughly, time speaking.
We might as well stop in.
Yeah, see what the hubbub is about.
A boot.
A boot. All right, we're going to ammo.
Second. Yeah. So as you guys, you basically can look up and see a large smokestack coming in from this area, and you quickly gather the direction you're supposed to be. And as you guys get closer, you see smaller ones. And ammo is actually a pretty large a cluster of buildings. However, they're all relatively new in comparison to a lot of the structures around here, and they're all of much cheaper resources like stucco and some brick rather than stone and steel and iron and all that sort of stuff. Built up in here, you quickly come across you quickly come across a sign. You're able to read. AMMO stands for the Association of Mutagenic Operations. They are an upstart of scientists that are looking. They're basically like the .org of this mutagenic stuff, whereas A and B Corp is like the .com of the biological adaptations and grafting. So these guys, as you guys approach it, you see that there's a lot of homes nearby. This place is not fancy. It's not like they've got like glass windows and all the fancy smancy stuff that the A and B Corp has. But what they do have is cheap rates and a steady flow of willing takers, so to speak, set up in this area. Coming towards the place itself, it's not inviting, it's not uninviting, it's not as intimidating as some of the other manufacturing facilities that you've come across before. What are you guys looking to do? Scope it out, walk in and be like, ding dong, hello, I'm looking for a centaur, or what's your thoughts here?
I mean, Wretch wouldn't see any reason that this is sus. He's just gonna ask if anybody of this name signed up. It's not like I'm trying to steal him from the program.
Okay. Moving into Ammo's, they've got like a small intake facility outside of the main gates. Everything's gated, and there's like near the front gates, there's like a smaller building that's like runs like the face of this area. You can see that there's some small back doors at the back of the place that presumably lead into the main facility. And as you enter this wooden brick structure, you are met with creatures of all shapes and sizes that you've never seen before. Amongst other normal creatures, some of them of which have had body augments done. And you see that there's like a DMV line, so to speak, here. Multiple DMV. It's like the airport lines, actually, for people. Are you willing to wait around?
I mean, Wretch is, but
No.
Ilya can say something if he doesn't want to.
Well, we've got more pressing issues. We want to head back up to the penthouse area and get ourselves set up for that mission, if I'm not mistaken. That's got a bit of a time crunch, and we have no idea how long this is going to take.
All right. Works for me.
If you wait any longer, you run the risk of the Onyx coming home, so to speak.
Well, we were gonna try to do it at night
Good point. Thank you.
and scale it at night and then be there at dawn. So
Thank you. Yep, I totally forgot.
I don't know I don't remember how long it takes to cross the city, but
From where you guys are going to, so like from where you are, it would, yeah, you can get there within an hour.
You could just shout and ask if anybody's seen your friend.
Yeah, like as far as I know, this isn't a secret thing. I'm just like looking for this guy. Anybody?
Yeah.
Well,
No one in line is really like. There's like, bleh, if you're shouting around, you're gonna need to wait through the line or like try to barge your way past people to try to talk to someone.
no, I won't do that. I'm too polite.
Yeah, I'm definitely too polite for that.
Yeah, we'll come back later. It's not
Okay.
super pressing right now.
Okay. So you
Okay.
guys go back to hook up with Emery.
Yeah, we're gonna go get Emery.
Okay. And I would say that you guys, as you approach Emery, you've been waiting outside for like an hour and a half for your friends.
Okay, I'm just putzing around with my creations.
Okay.
Making little buddies
All right.
for later. Maybe a trap, actually. While I'm waiting.
We're just right there.
I'm just sitting on the street playing with some sticks. What's the problem?
You see a portable trap?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just was like just prepping my stuff, you know.
Yeah, you'll have to explain to me what that would be. If it's like a big ass mouse trap or like what, as far as portable traps go.
Yeah, like, could I make like a bear trap type thing that could shut and open? You know?
Yes, spring shut, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. You got a spell for that, right?
It's not a spell. It's just just make a regular trap.
So I thought you had a specific ability at some point or another. So.
To animate it.
Gotcha.
Sure, but I still have to have the trap itself.
Okay, I need you to give me a mechanics check.
That I can do. Three success, one advantage.
Okay. You manage to basically you form a bed, right? A small area of it's like a circle with a T in it, and you form two of those, and you bind them together, and you're able to use that as a base bracket for you to be able to make some cross members that you can bend almost like bamboo over each other that need to get cinched down with a feather-like trap that'll cause them to spring back over. But you don't have it's not armed, right? So you need to take time to arm it. And it would be something that would need to be hidden in some way, shape, or form, like in a recess with a blanket over it, so to speak, for it to actually be able to do something like that. But that would take 5 supplies.
Okay. How does the rarities work again? Sorry.
Those would be just common supplies.
Okay, but I have. Is there like a ratio?
No,
Okay.
I don't think there's a ratio for that because it's just more like you
That's
can't
fine.
take diamonds and turn them into
Yep.
many sticks, so to speak.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I'm good then.
Okay. All right. I'm assuming you guys go back to that same area that you were before, at the base of the cliffside.
Yep.
And can I give
Yeah.
everybody? I have some of those cloaking feathers, but I think they had a time lapse before. Like, can I? How? I don't remember how long that was.
Yeah, they worked for like 10 minutes.
Okay, so I'll save those for later.
Yeah, they're not going to work for like hours.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, as you guys get through town, can you guys give me cool checks or streetwise checks? Your choice. as you try to kind of get into position, kind of cutting through some areas that you probably aren't supposed to be in.
We each check, or
Each, give me a check. Yep.
1 and 1.
4 success.
3 and 1.
Okay. Between the three of you, sorry, between Emery's charm and Ilya's natural ability to slip around, you guys managed to either distract people who would normally be catching on to your clanky friend, or managed to tuck him away out of sight behind boxes that are just as tall as him. As you guys make your way into this back corner, and you guys even get into the facility that was still people were still working at, but you managed to slip behind some resource piles to a place where you weren't found until people dismiss themselves from work and the place goes dark over time. All right. As the curtain gods reveal the Stellarium and night descends, what do you do?
I'm start climbing that ledge.
Okay. Any sort of style here? You guys roping yourselves together? You climbing and pinning things to the wall and whatnot? Are you? What's your? You got any game plan?
I definitely want to use that that repelling tube that we got. I'm gonna harness myself to that. So, if I fall, then that thing's gonna that thing will stop me.
Okay, so you tether yourself to the rope grab. The rope grab is on the rope. What's the rope attached to? Are you climbing and pinning as you go?
Yes.
Okay, so who's taking the lead, or are you all climbing at the same time?
I have the best athletics, probably, and best agility.
Okay.
So probably me. That way I can give you guys sure holds and then just climb the same rope. It's like at a certain distance.
Yeah, I have good mechanics, but I'm not very strong at all, so I'm a little nervous about going first.
So Ilya? Is that right?
That's me.
Okay. Last question for you. You're climbing and pinning as you go. Each time that you put in a pitten, you're gonna have to hammer it into place, right? And then clip in, so to speak. How often are you looking to do this to stop and rest and keep it safe? Because keep in mind, when you're smacking a hammer against a pitten into rock, it'll be making noise too. So it just depends. Do you want to go safer, or do you guys want to go safer and louder, or do you guys want to go quiet and more strenuous? And two of
Probably
you
quiet.
it's kind of tomato, but yeah, I mean, if you have all night, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards quiet, but I'm not the one doing it.
I guess every 25 feet? I'm just not sure how to figure that in my head.
Yeah,
I guess the idea would be if one of them fails, you wouldn't want to fall too far to the next one.
yeah, 20 feet would be 2 stories, roughly speaking.
Yeah, because then if one breaks and you fall to the next one,
Yep.
have something to grab onto. Okay, yeah.
Well, if one breaks, you'd fall double, because you'd fall the length of the rope and then again past it.
Hmm.
Well, what do you guys think?
You can give me a mechanics check too, if you guys want to tell me like.
I'll
roll
do
for
a
what your
mechanic.
character
Yeah,
would think.
I'll do a mechanics check for what my character would say would be safest,
Yeah.
but still quite like the nicest balance because she's really good at this stuff. So, 3 success, 2 advantage.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting caught by a rope. Judging by how good the rope is and whatnot, you could do 25 feet and be relatively fine. Especially if you have someone else who's belaying, right? So you're lead climbing, and then they could, if you clip in, then you've got someone who can pull the rope taut down at the bottom. 25 feet would be relatively safe.
Okay, stick with that then.
Yeah, that's about double what like some people do in real life. So, okay, cool. Give me a athletics check.
What the hell?
Oh, and because you have your climbing career, add 2 boost die.
And a hot meal.
And a hot meal gives you a boost die.
Oh yeah.
3 boost die then?
And the hot meal actually gives you the extra health. The bed gives you the boost die.
Oh.
I misspoke because I'm a terrible DM. Terrible, bad man.
3 success, 2 advantage.
I rolled 2 failure, 2 threat, so thank God for
All
that.
right.
For the
2 and 4 over
well
here.
rest.
Those boost die did nothing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you managed to you take a slow and steady pace. You managed to work your way. If you would like to get this done in 2 hours, I'm gonna have you roll again for me. Otherwise, you can carry on this pace and finish marking out the route with pittons in 4 hours.
Well, it's right around nightfall, isn't it?
Correct. You guys waited until nightfall to do this.
Okay, well, our idea was that we'd all climb it and then wait till dawn and then get down to business.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with taking more time if it's less risk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now I need you to give me a skullduggery check.
Oh,
As you
shucks.
attempt to do this quietly, and it's all nefarious stuff.
Super nefarious, like.
I'm gonna roll 1 red die, and on a despair, it means terrible things.
2 success, 1 advantage.
That's pretty good.
While
And
you're
one.
working, ting, ting, ting. You know, you gotta like place the pin where you think it's gonna be. You get the rope tied off. You get the rope grab, like, because keep in mind, you're putting this in so that way you have somewhere to tie off to. So you got to do this like one hand holding onto something, and then one hand like trying to get the thing seated so that way you can ping it in, right? You can't just like let go and do one and the other at the same time. After you put it in, then you can rope in. You're making good progress. Every now and then you stop and you belay down all the way so you can take a break, rest your hands, dry off your hands, grab extra pittance from the other folks. And at one point, you guys, you're probably about 60 yards up this hill, this cliffside, when you see torchlight across the way in a similar position from where you guys were the other night, except more towards the road. The torchlight is 4 torches you can see with your keen eyes from here. It's 4 separate torches. But then you see it move, and it streaks out from the road, cutting over through the sky. And you kind of duck down as you see this figure pass overhead. And it's some figure full Iron Man style. Like torch jets coming out of their hands and feet, and they land somewhere above you.
Ah.
I'm gonna fight Iron Man.
It's gonna be a pass for me, dude.
Gonna be a no for me, dog. Gonna be a no.
Okay.
Well, hopefully his visual acuity is based on movement, and I stand very, very still.
It Yeah, he's completely out of sight at this point. But you saw him. You traced him to the penthouse.
So he's
Yeah,
waiting.
I want. Maybe we should have sprung for the dynamite. I think everything's allergic to dynamite.
Allergic. Yeah.
That's the name of the video today. Everything's allergic to dynamite. I like it.
Should have gotten some dynamite. All right.
Okay.
So you have to
You all
fight
proceed?
Iron Man, I guess. That's
Well, not necessarily.
Is there
Or
ever any
Iron
NPC that
Man.
doesn't immediately try to kill us?
What if we're actually
Yevgeny?
real sneaky?
Yeah, Vivigini didn't try to kill you.
Oh, I say Yevgeny. Yeah, Vivigeni and the
Our drunk friend.
the light gin.
The Light Jin tried to kill me emotionally.
Dante didn't try to kill you.
Actually,
Dante
That's
tried
true.
to kill me
None
emotionally.
of the Buckums.
So far, a lot of NPCs really, really want to kill us, but haven't tried.
yeah.
The Flayun, scary, scary people who wanted to kill us, but they didn't actually try.
Neither did Diala.
Yep.
Diala tried. I just kept her at bay with my good looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? You going up?
Yeah, I mean,
would-
we're going
yeah.
slow and steady, like.
Okay. You make your way up to the top, and at this point, let me see if I got a map to show you guys.
And
Yeah. So at this point, as you guys are climbing, you guys can faintly hear. So actually, give me a perception check. All of you can do so.
1, 2.
Perception
a
is my
triumph,
best.
a success, and 2 advantage.
Oh, come on. Oh. 2 success, 5 advantage.
Okay. Is there anything that you guys would like to ascertain with your triumph or with your 4 uncancelled advantage? I'm just not going to tell you what I was thinking. I'm just going to tell you because no one actually passed the check.
Oh, fuck.
I
I would like to know whether or not there's some hustle and bustle between the top of this cliff and the penthouse. If anything's getting louder towards us.
Yeah, no, there's you can tell that there's actually very little noise coming from up above, but you can hear every now and then the sounds of footfall. And if you'd like with a Triumph too, instead of trying to ascertain something, you could like make it windy or something like that too, which like with extra background noises, it would help obscure you or smoke.
I would prefer maybe a rain.
Sure, yeah.
Because we're at the top, right?
Yeah. So I'll say that as you guys are getting up to the top, you feel the faintest sense of just some scattering driblets. As you guys get up here, so you're still underneath this great big bay window. You can see light coming in from it, but you haven't quite made it up and into there, so to speak. But you found a shelf to sit on. So actually, I'm going to pull you guys the map here.
Okay. And are we?
We're going to be finishing up. Yeah.
Says the yawning person.
At old age.
Okay.
I know. It's been a long week.
So obviously it's not daytime, but otherwise you guys can kind of see roughly speaking, down below you guys is like town from very far away. It's mostly a sludgy, gross city from up here. But you can see that there's a road that leads towards map south, and there's a road that leads towards map west from here into the building. So in front of you guys is a big bay window. There's multiple windows on the second floor. There's a big window in front of the road on each side. So like above the road, so to speak, for the second floor. Additionally, there's more mountainside beyond the road in both directions. However, it does look like there is some space. If you just were to just cross the road, headed map north on the left-hand side, if you're to cross the road, some of that wraps around as it gets higher up. So it's not like sheer right then and there, so to speak. It's more of like hills that reach into the cliff. Whereas if you were to go the other direction, it is like really steep stuff right across the road.
Okay.
And yeah, so from here, you guys can take shelter for the night if you'd like, and we'll pick up again here and see what happens throughout the course of the night and go from there.
Okay.
All right.
Seems like a good place to start next time.
All right. Well, thanks
We
for
never
playing,
found
guys.
the centaur.
Never did find the centaur yet. Although you guys did a lot more side questing than you'd originally anticipated. So
Yeah.
you did make more progress than expected today on that. Well, thanks
No
for playing,
stunt.
guys. I had a lot of fun getting ready for this one, so I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to see where all those side quests goes and where you guys take it. Tune in 2 weeks from now. We still good? I don't know if we gotta make sure that our calendars. I think that we're still good.
We're still good.
I don't think there's any issues there.
Cool, cool,
We're
cool.
past the holidays now, so we're all good. So not next Monday, but the following Monday we're back on.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll be going back to a usual Monday. Yep. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, guys, for playing. See you next time, and